person of inspiration for me is a swimmer called Misty Hyman. I was inspired by her from the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Just watching her whole personality before the race and then the actual race itself, her underwater work is incredible. And I just love who she is as a person, so that pretty much kick-started my love for swimming and just wanting to be a better person. If I could be anything like Misty, that'd be incredible. Pre-race thoughts, I normally go through a little bit of a race strategy, reminding myself of my pacing, and it's normally my sort of exercise routine that I do. So for 400 IM, I normally try and spin my arms around 4 times for butterfly, 8 times for backstroke, 4 for breast, 8 for free. Then I do the same with my legs. Then I always have to rotate my wrists, rotate my ankles, get myself jumping and ready to go. So it's a bit of like a checklist that I do in my head of all the different land exercises, and then when I'm behind the blocks, rub my hands, splash myself, crack my neck to the left, take a big breath in, out, and then I'm good to go. So there's a lot that happens in my head, but also I don't consciously think about it, it just happens. Yeah. I have quite an eclectic playlist. It ranges from Elephant Sessions, Lindsay Sterling, to Ex-Ambassadors, Sage Wolf. I always try and go for non-mainstream music because I play things over and over again, so the last thing I want to do is hear it on the radio. So I just try and find some obscure music, and Spotify is usually pretty good at trying to direct me to songs that sound very similar to each other. My best pre-race meal would be homemade lasagna. I love homemade lasagna, especially if my mum makes it. That's my go-to meal. It's very difficult to pinpoint it to just one movie. I'm a bit of a Marvel geek, so I love the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Deadpool, anything superhero based. So for me, just the whole Marvel series is kind of my go-to favorite type of films. It's a really good question, actually. My happiest moment in swimming is actually just being in the water. I love being able to do a really tough training session, and then once you finish, you get that high, that buzz of feeling like, okay, might not have felt good at the start, but I feel great now. Completing a really tough training session is kind of one of my happiest moments. And just generally diving in. For me, it clears my head so much. Any of the day's worries or stresses just literally get washed away. Sounds very cheesy, but generally just being in the water. I've got quite a few. I remember doing 2400s. In my head initially, I only heard 10. 5 IM, 5 freestyle. I think the 5 IM were off 6 minutes, 5 freestyle were 5 minutes. So I gave it everything and then realized it was twice through, so the second half was very, very tough. We do like a VO2 max set where we have 250s, 2 100s, push max 200, 250s, and we do like 4 rounds of that, 1 round on each stroke, and at the very end of that we then do a stand-up 200 for time, whether it's IM or fly or free. There's quite a lot of top sets that I've done, but those are the kind of 2 that stand out for me. Best piece of advice I can give you is be accountable. Hold yourself accountable. When you stand up behind the blocks, it's what you've done. Your coaches, your parents, the support staff around you are there to help support you, but at the end of the day, it's you that's on the blocks. So making sure that when you go to the training sessions, you turn up on time, you do the little things really well. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says at the end of the day, as long as you feel satisfied that you've done absolutely everything possible to be the best version of you, that's all that counts. My favourite thing about the best centre is the sunshine. I'm very pale. I don't get to see the sunshine that often. So for me, just being able to train outside. I always think a happy swimmer is a solar-powered swimmer, so whenever the sun shines out, you feel happier, you get a little bit of colour, a bit of freckles for me. So I just love the fact that it's outdoors and everybody's